My name is Stephen Garret, and my story matters. Um, I guess it was prison. Haven't gone to prison and come out without turning completely bad or bad at all, I guess. But the nature of IFS kind of makes it it's a social stigma. I got a sexual case, and it was with a 16-year-old girl, and I put my hands down her pants. But the reason I had tried to seduce this girl is because my nephew had raped my daughter, and it was his girlfriend. This was years after the fact. My brother had killed himself, so my nephews had come to live with me, and we tried to send him off for help, but there was something wrong with him, I guess. And when he finally came back, that's when I committed my crime. But I'd never been to Kansas City, or I'd only been to Kansas City for like a baseball game or whatever, and I'd never lived in a major city. This whole thing's been a challenge. The last couple years of my life have been really hard, out of work and stuff. And man, it's kind of crazy though how all that getting in prison and everything. You never expect that. You don't expect these things. I had a normal life. I had a wife, children, regular job, and I just fell apart when my brother killed himself. I've never really gotten better. But what was bad was after my brother killed himself, I committed my crime maybe 10 years after my brother killed himself, and before I committed my crime, I had more stuff that happened. My sister died. She'd had a long battle with cancer her whole life. And she was 4 years older than me, and she passed away in a nursing home. And then my mom died, and that's when I committed my crime. My nephew came back in my life, and I dealt with it completely the wrong way. You know, I had revenge in my heart. I started out handling my nephew all right, because I got him psychiatric help. I mean, if you see your dad put a shotgun in his head to his mouth and blow his head off, it's gonna mess you up. So I could understand a little bit of that. But when I saw him later on in life, he was bad. You know, it's just there was no goodness coming from him at all. He gave up. He didn't want to try to save, himself. Or, I don't know. But yeah, that. So I went to prison over that. Sodomy is more or less a touching kind of thing. There was no penetration or anything like that. And when I went to court, I finally started trying to handle it the better way. Before I went to prison, you got to go to court. And I go to court, and I saw my public defender. I was in the county jail for 3 months. I saw my public defender twice for maybe a grand total of 20 minutes. So I didn't really have a whole lot of legal advice, and I copped to it. I owned up to it. I manned up. In the court of law, people all around, strangers, and my victim, I admitted to what I did, and I took the heat for it. But so did my kids. As crazy as it sounds, I'd like to have made different choices so things would have come out better, but they came out the way they were, and I have to deal with it the way they are and try to find the things out of that of value. And the things out of that of value that I found are what it's drawn out of my heart, which is compassion and love for other people, which I didn't have a whole lot of. Maybe that's why all this happened. I don't know. But I don't know. We talk about that a lot because I know a lot of convicts. And I don't know if I really would change anything. I don't want to hurt nobody, but I could become where I am in faith and in my heart if I had gone through the things that I've been through. So I regret hurting people, but I don't regret what it's done for me inside of my heart.
Yeah. So is this the outcome you wanted from the start?
I don't know. That's another question I might have asked myself. Maybe I was seeking to destroy my life in this world so I could achieve a deeper spirituality, which I believe I have. But I have trouble functioning in this world because I'm not normal, I guess. I can't just walk away from things I see that are wrong. And a lot of that comes in with authority. You know, the authority of man here is hard to respect sometimes.
Yeah. What have you learned through this challenge?
Well, the main thing I've learned from this challenge is that sometimes you can't control everything. You know, we can't control all these factors, but what we can control is ourselves, our emotions. And if I had better control my emotions back then, got some help, like I should have, I probably wouldn't be in this situation. But this is how it is. Gives me the hope for a positive outcome. Is I don't know. I don't know if I have a positive hope right now. I just, because you can't surrender. You know, you got life is gonna kick crap out of everybody, and you gotta learn how to lean on other people. I didn't have that. I thought, as the male and the man in the house, that I was supposed to, not have any of this emotional stuff going on. So I tried to make the best decisions that I could at that time. But I was too torn apart. It'll work out because I do believe that I'm not a waste. I'm not detritus. I'm not trash on the street. I'm not some just blowing by. I'm a person that can contribute still, and that's what I want to do. That's what I went to that church too down there. I was telling you about. I was trying to talk them into helping me to get through back to school, so I wanted to be a counselor. You know, I don't know if I can do that now. I got too much internal recovery to do.
Yeah. Are you happy with your life?
Sometimes. I mean, on a spiritual level, I'm fine. I mean, I maybe these emotions are from the pain that I feel from the choices I made to hurt other people, especially my kids. And I can be happy and feel good about where I am at with how I view God and how I deal with people on a personal level, like one-on-one. Like in a group situation, I'm kind of different because I'm more guarded. But yeah, just like anybody, there's some days it's the beauty of being alive is surpasses everything. Anything.
What gives your life meaning and hope?
I'd like to get a little cliche and say my children, but it's not just that. It's all kids. You know, people in my age group, or maybe even a few in your age group, are, they kind of get set. But the thing about younger people is that they're more adaptive, and if they don't get cynical and embittered by the way man makes this world, and they put their faith in a deeper meaning, in something that has real value, not a car, not a camera. You know what I'm saying? Well, each connection you make with another person is more valuable than anything you could own, and that's what I cherish that. I just just want to get back. I want to be able to see my kids.
Do you feel like your story matters? Why or why not?
Sure, everybody's story matters, man. Why it matters is that we need to look at each other as human beings. Because one thing I learned from this is why I say I don't regret going to prison and everything. Because I learned what we do. I learned what human beings do. We objectify other human beings. Males do it to females. We do it. Males do it to males, and I'm not even talking about homosexuals or anything like that. We just don't even look at another person as a story at all. We're living, you know. You see that guy shuffling down the street, pushing the cart or something. You feel bad about it, but most of the time, people just kind of walk around that stuff. I've actually had people physically turn away from me before when I was even more scruffier looking and dirtier and grimier, and it kind of stunned me. I was like, did I do that? Back then, before I was forced to grow, did I do that? And I think I did. And it kind of bothers me that I was that compassionless, unless it was immediate circle. The world isn't individual families. It is, but I mean, it isn't. We're all a family, you know? Yeah.
If a complete stranger could hear your story, what would you like for them to learn or understand?
What I would hope is that people don't people suspend a judgment of other people and try to embrace people that a lot of these people, you said it earlier, they're broken and they're hurt. Nobody came out here and said, this is what I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to do, this is what happens. And when people are hurt and broken, man, you'll do anything. If you corner an animal, it's going to bite you. And not saying that we're animals or anything like that, but I'm saying that, people lash out. If you don't feel any love, you can't give any love. So I guess that's what I would hope, that people would be more loving.